A couple rush into the local emergency department present with their 8-month-old baby Muhammad cradled in their arms. His tiny face is pale, his breathing shallow and unresponsive. Muhammad's symptoms were alarming. He was vomiting, lethargic and crying inconsolably. His abdomen seemed tender, especially in the upper right quadrant, a telltale sign of liver distress. These symptoms pointed towards acute liver toxicity. What could have happened to this little guy? Let's dive into the roller coaster of events that could lead to this dramatic scene. Just a few days prior, little Muhammad had been feeling temperature after playing with his friends. His parents, like any devoted and caring guardians, noticed that he had developed a mild fever, prompting them to take immediate action. Concerned for their son's well-being, they rushed him to the pediatrician, who examined him thoroughly and prescribed paracetamol syrup to help bring down his temperature and alleviate discomfort. However, as fate would have it, a mix-up occurred at the pharmacy. In a busy and bustling environment, the pharmacy staff mistakenly provided paracetamol in drop form instead of the syrup that was specifically intended for young children. This substitution went unnoticed, and Muhammad's parents, trusting the pharmacy to provide the correct medications, administered the drops without realizing the critical difference. They believed they were giving him the proper dosage of syrup, completely unaware that the drops were much more concentrated and far stronger than what their baby could safely handle. Now here is what it gets serious. Paracetamol is generally safe when administered correctly, but when given in excess, especially to an infant, it can become a silent killer. After taking the medications, Muhammad's health deteriorated drastically. He started showing signs of liver toxicity, like his skin turned a shade of yellow, which is known as jaundice. His little body became lethargic and he barely had the energy to cry. And his usually bubble personality faded away. The parents watching in horror as he began vomiting and became increasingly unresponsive. Alarmed by the sudden changes in his condition, they called their doctor, who suggested they bring him back for an evaluation. It was during his visit they learned of the medical mix-up. As the doctor conducted tests, they confirmed the worst. The incorrect medication has severely affected Muhammad's liver function. The medical reports indicated elevated liver enzymes, a clear sign that the liver was struggling under the burden of overdose. Now let's pause and explore the science behind this condition. Paracetamol, which is also known as acetaminophen, is often found in both syrup and drop formulations for the children. The syrup is usually diluted for easier dosing, while the drop form is far more concentrated. Infant paracetamol syrup typically contains 125 mg or 250 mg in every 5 ml, while concentrated drops can contain up to 100 mg per milliliter. Here the doctor might have prescribed 5 ml of 125 mg syrup, but the baby took 5 ml drops which contain 500 mg of paracetamol, which is same as adult dose. In this case, Muhammad received doses far exceeding what his body could safely process. Once ingested, paracetamol is metabolized by the liver through several pathways. Normally, it is converted into harmless substance and excreted. However, when too much paracetamol accumulates, a toxic metabolite called N-acetyl P-benzoquinone is produced. This compound bonds to liver cells and causes oxidative stress, which leads to cell damage and potentially a liver failure. Research shows that acute liver failure following a paracetamol overdose can occur within few hours of ingestion, and symptoms can progress very rapidly, making timely intervention critical. Back in the emergency room, the medical team sprang into action. Blood tests confirmed elevated level of liver enzymes and high concentration of paracetamol in Muhammad's bloodstream. They started by administering activated charcoal to absorb the remaining paracetamol in Muhammad's stomach. Following that, they began the treatment with N-acetylcysteine, which is an antidote that replenishes glutathione levels in the liver, helping to neutralize the toxic effects of paracetamol. N-acetylcysteine is more effective when administered within 8 hours of ingestion but can still provide benefits later. Over the next 24 hours, Muhammad received 3 consecutive doses of N-acetylcysteine while being closely monitored for the signs of improvement. Muhammad's condition stabilized after several days in intensive care. His liver functions tests began to improve, signaling that his body was recovering from the toxic assault. Thankfully, he did not require a liver transplant, a procedure that is reserved for cases where irreversible damage has occurred into the liver. This incident underscores the importance of vigilance when administering medications to children. Double-check medical labels. Always verify that you have received the correct formulation and dose. Use proper measuring tools like kitchen spoons are inaccurate. Use proper syringes or droppers that is provided with the medicine. Early symptoms like vomiting and lethargy should prompt immediate medical attention, and act quickly. If an overdose is suspected, seek emergency care without delay and bring some medication bottle for the reference. Research shows that accidental pediatric overdose are not uncommon due to errors in dispensing or dosing. Paracetamol remains one of the leading causes of acute liver failure worldwide. While N-acetylcysteine is highly effective when administered promptly, delay in treatments can lead to severe complications, including death. As Muhammad's story illustrates, even well-intentioned actions can have unintended consequences when it comes to medication safety. His recovery was nothing short of a miraculous, a testament to the modern medicine and timely intervention. But let his experience serve as a cautionary tale to all caregivers. When it comes to your child's health, there is no such thing as being too careful. So next time you pick up a prescription for your little one, remember Muhammad's journey and double check those labels. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.